Snooker star Stephen Maguire is angry with the current state of the sport and has launched attack on the sports bosses for not doing their jobs properly. Furious Stephen Maguire insists snooker is dying before our eyes as he launched a blistering attack on the sport's failing bosses. Snooker is still reeling from the match-fixing probe that has seen 10 Chinese players charged in the biggest corruption scandal in its history. The sport is engulfed in a crisis, and the cancellation of the Turkish Masters dealt a fresh blow to under-fire chiefs this week. Former UK champion Maguire is angry over false promises with the event in Antalya, which proved a huge hit in its inaugural staging last year, scrapped due to funding issues. Players will be relieved that the event has since been replaced with the less glamorous WST Classic in Leicester, meaning they can at least still compete for a prize money instead of facing a frustrating lull in the season. But Maguire is convinced snooker bosses are not doing their jobs properly and believes decision-makers should start being held accountable for the worrying state of the tour. "It's dying, the game's dying right in front of us," Maguire said in a candid interview with Metro.co.uk. "I spoke to the suits at the start of the season and they promised me there'd be tournaments on. Turkey was always a question mark and it's turned out to be cancelled, so the suits aren't doing their job, which isn't good for the players. They all gave me the same answer: we'll look after you, the tournaments will be there, don't worry. The tournaments aren't there, so there's something wrong at the top of the game. It's worrying for players. It's not good enough for most of the tour. I've either been lied to that things will be okay, or they've just not been able to fulfill it. Something's wrong." He added, "They're cutting tournaments. There's supposed to be contracts out there. Turkey was a 5-year deal, Saudi was 10 years, and they just cut them like that. They have to do something. There's something wrong. If somebody doesn't do their job, in any walk of life, they get their ass kicked or they get the sack." Downbeat Maguire does not see a bright future for snooker without drastic changes being made to the structure of the tour. And the fiery Scot claimed that players ranked inside the world's top 30 have even considered getting jobs to supplement their income in a damning revelation. "Am I going to tell my kid, or anyone tell their kid, to play snooker because it's a good living? Is it a good living? Of course it's not," he said. "We've put loads into the game, 30 years of my life, I love the game. But we're not getting any help at all here." Maguire continued, "There's people out there ranked 28 to 29 in the world, looking at getting jobs. People from the outside think, what a life you've got. How can you be 20-odd in the world of supposedly a global sport, looking at getting a job? Something's wrong. The game's dying, there's no other headline." And the passionate 41-year-old, who has competed in this week's divisive snooker shootout ranking event, has proposed one solution to the sport's concerning predicament. "I'd cut the tour," he added. "Snooker is not big enough, and I've said it for years, it's not big enough to sustain 128 players. There isn't 128 players out there who can play on the main tour. That might sound horrible, but there isn't." Thank you for watching our videos. Subscribe to our channel to get notifications when we post newest videos. Thank you and goodbye.
We've been holding up for the girls for a minute, been a little uptight. She laid up for me when a little too far felt her up just to send me in the danger zone to go crazy for a minute. If your heart is in low, you will end up much deeper than before. Plus you know